El Salvador $1 million Bitcoin citizenship. Is it worth it for you as a high net worth or ultra high net worth individual? Because I have clients that have gotten El Salvador citizenship, and there are hundreds of people interested, or even thousands of people interested in this program that have the money to invest into El Salvador to get Salvadorian citizenship. The requirements are 1 million US dollars in either Bitcoin or USDT. So if you have hundreds of Bitcoin and 10 Bitcoin, or in this case a little bit more, then 10 Bitcoin doesn't really hurt you that much into giving it to El Salvador and donating it. It's not an investment, you actually donate it to the country. Then you can get your El Salvadorian citizenship. It's also very fast. So in 4 to 6 weeks, you can get your passport and then go to El Salvador and pick it up. Obviously, Caribbean programs take 8 months, in some cases more than a year. So if you're an ultra high net worth individual, you don't want to wait over a year for a Dominican or St. Kitts passport. You want to get a much faster one and pay 4 times the price, then you can go for El Salvador. El Salvador is also tax-free on crypto and Bitcoin gains. So if you're making millions crypto trading, or if you're an ultra high net worth individual from Bitcoin specifically or crypto specifically, you have huge taxes to pay in Western countries. You can leave one of those countries and then move to El Salvador. And from there on, you would pay 0% capital gains tax, 0% crypto tax, and you would also be a citizen. So you have the right to live there whenever you want, as long as you want. You don't need to get a residency permit. And also, if you want to get residency in other Latin American countries, let's say you want to live in Costa Rica, as an example, or in other Latin American countries, it provides easier residency in those mentioned places as a Salvadorian citizen compared to, for example, a Canadian or a UK citizen or a citizen of any other country, for example, from India or from China. Let's say you want to get a second citizenship, you can get El Salvador and then go live somewhere else in Latin America. You can also improve your travel freedom. Although it's not the best passport in the world, you can go to the Schengen area. You can go to most of Latin America with the exception of Mexico. You can go to some places like Japan, Korea, UAE, Oman, Turkey. It has relatively good visa-free travel, like a Caribbean program, I would say. Obviously with Caribbean, you're paying 4 times less, but you're also waiting a much longer time. And also you have the probability of losing that Schengen access, which El Salvador probably won't lose that Schengen access in the future, even though they have this program because it's such a high price point as well. And you're contributing to the future of El Salvador. El Salvador now is safe. There's no gangs anymore because they've all been rounded up and put in prison. It's developing really well. You have investments from all over the world. Land prices and real estate prices are rising rapidly. And overall, the future of El Salvador is very bright. Although the country is heading in the right direction, there is some uncertainty because what happens if something happens to Nayib Bukele? What happens if the government changes? What happens if there's an attempt, unfortunately, on his life? Although I wish him absolutely the best. I think I was in El Salvador more than 10 years ago and it was horrible. You couldn't go anywhere, and now you can go anywhere, and it's an amazing place and it's heading in the right direction. And I'm glad to see Latin American countries improve and get better. There's still people that don't like him. There's still people that hate him, and there's always that possibility. So what if the government changes? What if these criminals are allowed free again to roam and control the country again? So we don't know the future of the country. There's some uncertainty there. Also, there's limited perception of an El Salvadorian citizen around the world. A lot of countries, a lot of border guards, for example, don't even know that El Salvador is a country. So you might have trouble, like for example, me traveling with my St. Kitts passport. Some countries don't even know what is St. Kitts. Is that even a country? With El Salvador, it might be the same. They have good relationships with a lot of countries like Spain, for example, other countries in Europe, obviously all of Latin America. But if you compare it, for example, to Malta, that has a $1 million program as well, although it takes around 2 years, a lot more processing, a lot more documentation that you need to submit. For Malta, Malta is in the European Union. You can live anywhere in the European Union. You have more travel freedom around the world. Overall, the perception of the country and of the passport right now, because it might change in the future, El Salvador might actually be way better than Malta in the future. Right now, Malta would be a better bet if you're looking for more visa-free travel, more recognition around the world. Before getting a second citizenship, a second residency, or moving abroad, you want to book a one-on-one call with me and my Wealthy Expat team. We've helped thousands of people all over the world improve their freedom, their asset protection, and their citizenship portfolio. You want to click the link in the description and book a one-on-one call with us today. Who is this program ideal for? Because actually we've helped people go through this program, so we can say we've helped contribute millions of dollars to El Salvador, and I'm very happy on the current trajectory of the country. What I would recommend it to is to those investors, specifically in crypto, that have a lot of unrealized capital gains. Let's say you've been holding Bitcoin for a long time, you're making a ton of money trading altcoins, and you're worth $30, $50 million. $1 million of that isn't really that much to get a second citizenship, to get it fast, to get it in a country where you're contributing to the economy, to get it in a safe country, to get it in a pretty good visa-free travel country, and to also paying crypto directly. Because there's no other program where you can just pay in crypto and that's it. El Salvador is the only way. For that kind of person, it makes a ton of sense, specifically if they're interested in Latin America. If you're interested in potentially living in Latin America in the future, investing, buying land in El Salvador, spending time in Latin American countries, then it just makes a ton of sense. And obviously for investors that are bullish on El Salvador's future, maybe El Salvador is the next Singapore in the next 20 to 30 years, and you're getting in the future one of the best passports in the world that might not be accessible at all. For example, Singapore 30 years ago, if they sold their passport, people would have bought it thinking, well, maybe this country shapes up and is an amazing country in 30 years. And now it's one of the best passports in the world. It's a citizenship that is kind of inaccessible to most people. Even residency in the country is inaccessible to most people. Those people would have had an amazing ROI, an amazing bet back then. The same thing with El Salvador now. You might be giving them $1 million and thinking, it's a little bit overpriced, but in 20, 30 years, it might be one of the best passports in the world, one of the best countries to live in the world if it continues in the right direction. If I could summarize this program in one sentence, it would be amazing for some people and overpriced and not worth it for other people. You might be in the camp of it's an amazing program and you would definitely do it. If you are a crypto investor and crypto millionaire and you want to know what countries offer citizenship to crypto investors, crypto-friendly citizenships and passports, you want to check them out right here. Crypto-friendly citizenships, all the countries around the world that offer citizenship in exchange for your cryptocurrency, check them out right here.